Hey everyone, we are back. It is Thursday, so I'm a day late on this, but um the summer I turned pretty. Next episode, season 3, episode 9. And we're just going to go straight in. We're just going to go straight in and see what's going on cuz I've been waiting all week to watch this, and so I'm ready. I am ready, and let's just go for it. Okay, so Belly is in Paris. She said she talked to some guy, told her that they still had a spot for her. So her impulse was at the airport just to catch the first flight to Paris. Now she stood there staring at Conrad, again, just, and Conrad's looking off to the side, just like he don't see her. And then as soon, of course, as she goes in to start boarding, then he looks over like, damn, was she just there? Was I feeling something? It's too late. She's on the fucking plane. So anyway, she gets there. Apparently it's some big mistake because dude didn't do his spreadsheet from last month. So the spot has been filled. Belly is very emotional. She calls her mom. She's like, "Hey, don't tell anyone I'm here. Like, I'm just so embarrassed because I thought this was going to work out differently, and I just can't go back home. Like, I can't face anyone." She's like, "Girl, if you don't get this ticket and come on home, honey, use my card. I don't care how much it costs. Get your booty back here." Anyways, then we're back with Jeremiah done got drunk all night with his friends, and Steven and Taylor was there, and then Conrad, while he was at the airport after he thought that he sensed Belly, his dad called him, told him the wedding was off because remember he left before anything even happened, and so he's like, "What? The wedding off? Uh, oh my God." So he goes back. He goes to the bar where Jeremiah and all them are at. Stephen and Taylor see him and they go, "Oh no, let's just stop him because it's gonna be something else if we don't stop him." So they basically are like, "Get out of here," like, we listen. And so Taylor says, "I will let you know when I hear from her." I haven't heard from her. Stephen ain't heard from her. Jeremiah hasn't heard from her. Her parents haven't heard from her. And is that what you're really worried about? Like, what about your brother? So so then I guess he do end up showing up to the house, but like Jeremiah's not there, I believe, but Steven is there. And Steven basically is like, "Why'd you say all that shit to my sister? Like if you really want to help, like just leave everyone alone, basically. Like leave Jeremiah alone." And Taylor told him to leave Belly alone. Like I think everybody needs some space from everybody right now. So um now we're going back to Paris. Now I did see on like the previews that she does spend some time there, so I kind of doubt that she's gonna leave right away back home. Especially with her needing space from everyone. So let's see what happens next. All right, so just finished the episode. This seems like a very like aftermath of the episode before. So everyone's trying to deal with it in their own way. Conrad tries to go talk to Jeremiah. Jeremiah's like, "Oh, I'm the one who has to tell you, huh?" So Belly's in Paris and she's staying. And, kind of just rejects his brotherly advances. I don't know. So then Conrad goes to talk to his dad. He kind of tells him, like, "Hey, this is what went down. This is why the wedding was called off." and, admits to him, like, I thought she would change her mind. I thought, basically, like, I thought she would choose me, and, like, she didn't. But isn't, like, that's just messed up for me to think. And, like, almost as if, like, he couldn't really believe that he was thinking that way. But love will make you do some crazy things, baby. So, Belly met some people in Paris. They were, well, she kind of saves this girl from being, like, harassed from this guy, and then so she gets her into the club, and so then invites her to hang out with her and her friends, and they're like, she tells them about the whole situation, and they're kind of just like, well, I mean, you could go back, but you could also stay. And so I think she wanted a fresh start. She wanted, not to be around everyone, like I said earlier. So she's staying in Paris, gonna see what happens with that. Also have to mention, loving the whole Taylor and Steven thing. I love that they're, like, getting along, and they're seeming like they're really gonna do it right this time. And I really hope they do, because I think that all of the things that have kept them on and off and going back and forth with each other, they're starting to realize, maybe we should just try and make this work. So I'm really rooting for them, for sure. Now, Jeremiah and Belly do speak on the phone before, obviously, he tells Conrad about her being in Paris. So she tells him that she's in Paris, and Jeremiah tries to plead with her and get her to come home. And he's like, well, we don't have to get married. Let's just go back to the way things were. I miss you. I don't know how to be without you, because they've been together for so long. And she basically is like, I'm not the same person, and I'm gonna stay. And he gets mad, says, don't ever fucking call me again. And then after that talk with Conrad and their dad, Conrad's like, I'm leaving. I'm going back to California, and, I'm gonna stay away. So he leaves after talking with his dad, and his dad goes to check on Jer, and they just hug, and Jeremiah has to cry it out, and you have to do that in those situations. Sometimes you just have to cry it out, because what else are you gonna do? I mean, obviously he's gonna be miserable and feeling some type of way for a long time, I'm sure, because he really considered her to be, like, the love of his life. But also, he's also had, like, this thing of where he gonna find somebody else. So I'm not gonna be surprised, when he is with someone else, whether it may be a serious relationship or just a hookup. But it's gonna be somebody else, I'm sure. But the real thing about it is, I wholeheartedly believe that Conrad and Belly are gonna end up together. Now, I'm not just saying that because apparently that's how it is in the books, or what have you, but it's really seeming like they are eventually gonna find their way back to each other. And it may not be right away. She needs to find herself. She did, I think she made the right decision in staying in Paris, because what, she do need to find herself. She need to learn how to be her, without Conrad, without Jeremiah, without Taylor, without Steven, without her parents. You know, all of these things that she's had kind of standing beside her, holding her up, getting her through. She needs to be alone. She needs to experience the world, and that's what she's doing. And I'm proud of her because, you know, I love Belly, and it's really beyond all of us to try and decide who she gonna end up with. I mean, a lot of people know it's gonna be Conrad, so congratulations to you Team Conrad folks. But honestly, everyone is in your life for a reason and a season, or what do they say? And so I think that that was Jeremiah and Belly's season. That's just what they ended up having. They had a great love, and you know, now it's over. They're different people. They're, you know, they're trying to achieve different things in life, and I just feel like, well, let them achieve that then. You know, they all need to figure out themselves and have some space away. And I honestly hope that they can be friends again, because, you know, they've known each other their whole lives. It's not like they ain't never gonna talk to each other again. Like, I mean, maybe, because Jeremiah do tend to hold grudges or whatever, but I don't think he can be like that towards her in particular. I think at the very least they will reconcile and be friends. And so we didn't see it on here because apparently, you know, he just found out, but I'm expecting maybe the next episode to be the start of the letters that are going to go back and forth between Belly and Conrad. And then maybe after that is going to be a time skip, because now we're here and now we're only 2 episodes away from the series finale. That means we'll never get any more The Summer I Turned Pretty, unless Jenny Han want to write another book, honey. But this is it. We are in the end game, 2 episodes away. And so I'm going to end the video here, and we're going to tune in next week. Right, everyone? Right? We're going to tune in to me and the show. And we're going to see what happens in this next episode. Like I said, I feel like this was very aftermath, very everyone dealing with their own feelings, trying to figure out what's going on. And after this tragedy of a wedding and the calling off of the wedding. So I think the next episode is gonna be a lot more storytelling, a lot more like, you know, it might be a small time skip. Maybe, you know, Belly's been in Paris a couple weeks and she's getting along, however she's getting along, and then the letters start coming. That is my prediction. And I'm excited to see what happens. I'm excited. I'm also, honestly, I know I've been Team Jeremiah throughout this journey here. But I'm excited to see how they're going to come back together, her and Conrad. Because I think after this, watching this season so far, I understand him better. I understand him better. I understand his love for her better. And that he, you know, was willing to do whatever to try and get her back. Even, you know, messing up her wedding. So, anyway, greatly appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe, follow, all of that. I'll be posting this here Probably not in a few minutes like I wanted to, because now I have to get ready to go to work. So I'll probably post this tonight. And I will see you all next week for episode 10 of season 3. 2 episodes away, y'all. Let's get it. Bye.